my buddy and me.
With friends like these,
We climb up a tree.
you know.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now,
Me.
more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub.
None of us are huge fans of replaying segments, regardless of the work put into them. But this seemed to go over very, very well yesterday, and I know we're in an era of podcasts and things of that nature. Now, if you're curious about it's an interview we did yesterday late in the show with Brantley Hall, an assistant professor at the University of Maryland in the Department of Cell Biology and Molecular Genetics and the Center of Bioinformatics and Computational Biology. Now, if you want to see what he looks like, you can go to @Toucher and Hardy or @FredToucher @Hardy985 and see a tiny, tiny portion of this interview on Instagram. But he has got a study where this is funded by the University of Maryland, where he has invented a small device that goes into your underwear, and he's got people and he's measuring farts. Okay? That's all you need to know getting into this. If you've heard it, I think you'll enjoy it again. If you haven't heard it, this went over very well yesterday. It really did. So here we are. We're joined by Brantley Hall. Brantley Hall, hello, sir.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. We've been discussing you quite a bit, not you personally, but your research. We've been throwing it around. We have many, many questions for you today. Thank you.
Happy to talk about farts.
My man.
First question, Dr. Hall. What is a fart?
It's an eruption of gas from the rectum. The gas is derived mostly by gut microbes. So what people don't realize is it's your microbiome that's generating the gas that causes farts.
Stupid fools. So, what is that? Like yogurt? The probiotics and things like that? That's what causes... Is that what creates the most gas? Probiotics? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's the native microbes that live in your gut. So you probably have, an extraordinarily large number of microbes in your gut, maybe 10 to the 13 microbes per gram of stool. And so those native microbes that live there and have probably lived with you for years are the main cause of farts.
All right, so 300, because I know how many grams of stool I made just recently, so I can tell you that.
You have what seems to be a dream job for many of us. How did you get into this area or this field of expertise?
We didn't start out trying to be fart measurers. We're microbiologists, and so we're trying to better understand gut microbial metabolism, but we kind of hit this wall about where we could measure it and how we could measure it, and so farts were the place where we could measure gut microbial metabolism in real time, but there wasn't a device that allowed you to do it, so we had to make one ourselves.
What were some of the early trials and tribulations? You said you had trouble measuring the farts. What did you try first?
Yeah, so we started out measuring microbiology in our anaerobic chamber, and our sensor didn't work.
What's an anaerobic chamber?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a bubble. Do you remember the Bubble Boy episode of Seinfeld, how that guy was living in a bubble?
Again,
you're talking our language.
We are so in the same wheelhouse together.
Yes,
this is perfect.
Yes, we do know that, yes.
My lab has a bubble just like that, and we exclude all the oxygen from it. So there's 21% oxygen in the atmosphere. We take all the oxygen out of that bubble, and in that bubble, we can grow the microbes that live in your gut. And so we call it the anaerobic chamber. And so we were trying to measure hydrogen in there and see what the microbes were up to, but it didn't work. And we got really frustrated, and we took the sensor out, and we're like, I think we're just going to take this home and fart on it and see if it works. And it worked. So
who farted on it?
How did you get chosen for that?
It was me, yeah.
Did you know you had to fart, or did you take the sensor and wait until that had to happen?
It was a waiting game, yeah, for sure.
Oh, then they never come when you want them.
100%.
Okay, so then you fart on the sensor and it works. Okay, so now I know you're doing actual science there. It's just funny to say farts, obviously, as we are very immature. But there has to be funding for this, I'd imagine. And that, I don't know anything about the academic process, but I would imagine that requires presentations and things like that. Were you at all nervous about presenting this to people in that they would think that you were insane?
A lot of people ask me that, but farts aren't even that weird a biosample. A lot of people do weirder scientific studies than farts. And so, I faced very little kind of pushback about how crazy this idea is. It sounds surprising, but People do much crazier stuff than this.
Okay, so what you're in fact doing is you're measuring how often people fart.
Exactly. And then how large the farts are and the gas composition of the farts.
Okay, how do you describe the weight of a fart? Large, I don't know, it's obviously not weight. How large the farts are, how is that quantified?
It's the concentration of gas over time. So you would imagine like a small fart is a small peak and then a large fart is a much bigger peak that sticks around for longer.
Okay, is gas in every fart? Sometimes that's just hot air?
It's always gas, and almost always gut microbial gas. It's actually like, we don't know this. Some people say that carbonated beverages are a cause of farts. I'm personally skeptical, but the kind of science is not settled.
Okay, so what about like Mr. Methane, like guys that can make their own farts, like can make themselves fart? There's still gas in that?
So interesting. There's some people who can actually suck in air and then re-expel it.
Yeah.
There's a very famous example of someone who would do this. They would just suck in air, then kind of like re-expel it. So
was this the French guy that used to put on the shows and he would blow out candles and stuff?
100%. That guy.
Good call.
And those were true farts. Totally.
So there's still gas in there?
Probably those are just air.
Okay, because have you ever seen the Kenny versus Spenny Who Can Fart the Most?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
This needs to be part of your research.
So they did they would do these things against each other. They were two roommates in quotations. Kenny versus Spenny was a Canadian show. And you'll love it because it's actually kind of what you're doing. So they did Who Can Fart the Most, but they had a monitor that checked for gases. So what Kenny ended up doing is blowing the whole thing, and he didn't care because he just was pumping air into his rectum and just laying these giant farts without telling the other guy he was doing it. So he was throwing the contest, but he was putting on a big show while he did it. So this is the difference between air and gas, because Spenny was farting real farts and Kenny was just blowing air out of his bottom.
Interesting. And just medical disclaimer, never pump air into your rectum. You will die.
Yeah,
Kenny didn't die.
Well, no, but it's not to be treated as a fireplace bellows.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to mess around with that.
Don't do it.
Yeah, so the sensor can measure what? Obviously the gas, which you mentioned, but does it measure duration? Does it measure decibels? What kind of information are you gleaning from this sensor?
Yeah, we're measuring hydrogen, and that's a microbially produced metabolite, so it's not produced by any other thing. So it's a signal of microbial metabolism. And so we measure the hydrogen signal over time, and you can get like a nice peak, and you can see kind of the size from that. We measure a lot of other stuff, like whether people are wearing the device. So we know that the negative data is useful if they're wearing it or not. And we track kind of like when they eat and then how that leads to different flatulence patterns.
Is there a temperature gauge on it?
For sure, there is.
Okay, and have you come to the conclusion that heat equals anything?
For us, heat is higher likelihood of people wearing it. So your underwear is like near body temperature. And so like, the sensor's like 70 degrees. We're like, oh, they're not likely wearing it. But if it's 96 degrees, we're like, they're likely wearing it.
No, so it has nothing to do with the farts.
Does when there is a fart expelled, though, does the temperature reading go up?
No, it doesn't. We were surprised by that, actually.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
Yeah.
Is there you've tracked all these people. We know your research. What's the most anyone's farted in a day?
It's about 220 times per day.
Okay, and the least amount of farting is what?
It's like 3 times a day.
Okay, so that's with a boy, and then a girl. Okay, I understand.
So this was a 22-year-old girl, relatively attractive.
Yeah, it's with the 3. Okay, I
One of the most
understand.
interesting things, right? And this person actually was eating a high-fiber diet. So I can modulate your farts like 100-fold. So in our study, we showed by changing people's diets, we can make people fart 100 times more. And so
really,
yeah,
do tell.
I can tell you exactly.
I wish I could have told my 12-year-old self this.
Go on.
All right,
so exactly what to eat.
Okay, so you're saying that you can increase someone's productivity of farting or number of farts a day 100 times by their diet.
No sweat. Maybe 200 times.
My friend, you've got me hooked. I'm listening. How does one do this?
I mean, so you need to eat fiber. So fiber is like, it's things that can be utilized by your gut microbiome. So fiber 1 bars or broccoli or like psyllium fiber, different fibers. There's a really funny one. Have you ever heard about the sugar-free gummy bears?
No.
This will do it for you. So sugar-free gummy bears are made with sugar alcohols, And so they're not accessible to humans, but accessible to microbes. And you can Google the Amazon reviews for this. There's some very funny stories of like people getting on a plane and eating these and just having insane amounts of flatulence. So I don't really recommend the sugar-free gummy bears, but if you guys want to have a fun weekend or something, give it a go.
Yeah, there's a part of you that's still 12, Doctor.
Yeah,
Mr. Brantley Hall.
Is that
It's a fascinating topic.
for people who are wearing the sensors on a plane? Does their fart frequency go up? Because we all know you can just let them rip on an airplane, and no one's the wiser because of the engine noise.
I mean, totally.
Do we know that?
Yes, of course.
You haven't heard that?
I'll grow up.
I know it's in the Bible, but I mean...
And there's a reason why you fart more on planes, right? So the cabin pressure is like a higher altitude. It simulates a higher altitude. And so as the atmospheric pressure decreases, the gas volume increases. So theoretically, people in Denver are going to have more farts than people living at sea level.
Okay,
We need to test this, but like it's something we want to go after.
Okay, so when you say someone's farted 224 times, immediately you think of some slob, like fat slob, you know? But you're saying that it just as likely could be a person with a very fiber-filled diet, like some kind of hippie.
100%.
Right.
And there are a lot of people with medical disorders. So 1 in 5 people will report excess phlitis in their lifetime sometimes. So they're going to go to their doctor and say, I have too much farts. And so it's a big problem that we need to deal with. And right now it's unmeasured. So like people don't have answers. So like imagine if you went to your endocrinologist and you're like, I have diabetes. And they're like, could you rank your diabetes from smiley face to frowny face? You'd be like, whoa, I'm going to get a better endocrinologist.
Right.
But if you go to your gastroenterologist right now and say, I'm farting too much, they're just going to say, okay, rank your farts from smiley face to frowny face. And it doesn't provide satisfying answers to anyone.
Okay,
That's
so
what we're trying to do.
people have shunned studying this because of the stigma attached.
I think stigma is a big part, and the technology gap. There's just not been the tech to do this.
All right, so tell me why? Why has technology been lagging behind? Why are you the visionary that the Lord has sent?
I wouldn't call myself a visionary. The technology has advanced so much. I attribute it to the Bluetooth like headphones, like AirPods.
I knew they were good for something.
Radically decreased the power consumption of like Bluetooth microcontrollers, and there's been a lot of kind of decrease in power consumption and improvement in battery technologies that have all come together to enable this for the first time in the last 5 years. Like our device right now would have been impossible 5 years ago.
Yeah, Richard Feynman coming to fruition here. He said you got to make everything smaller. That's where the technology lies, making everything smaller. So now that you're able to study these and you're accumulating all this data, will there be some sort of published report? And what do you hope to accomplish with this report?
Absolutely. We actually did our first abstract at Digestive Disease Week. So the first data has been published. I can send it to you.
Please.
We are trying to figure out the baseline of human flatulence patterns. So if someone shows up to their gastroenterologist, the gastroenterologist is going to have much better data to say, this is the normal number of farts and this is an abnormal number of farts. And that sounds so silly, but right now it's just based on a few dozen people in total. And so we really need to have a better measurement of this. But we're also searching for people with the most optimal microbiomes that fart the least. So the people who can eat a lot of fiber and don't have a lot of farts. And we're going to figure out how it's happening. Like, what is their microbiome configuration? And can we apply those lessons to other people who have too many farts to hopefully decrease the amount of farts in these people?
Okay, so we wanted to see if you needed more people, and you seemed to be pretty set on the amount of people you had, but could someone from our show participate in this maybe, please?
100%. I would be happy to send you up devices. We have had 12,000 people sign up. So it sounds so silly. Like we thought dozens of people might sign up, but 12,000 have.
No, we're all children, but you're doing actual science and people want to participate. We would love to have Nicholas do this. They would be fantastic.
I think you should have several people do it, then fight to see who can have the most farts and the least farts. Like change it day to day.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, man. If you want to send out the whole kit and caboodle, we'll go nuts for you. We'll do anything you want.
Dr. Hall, have you been unfairly labeled a fart suppressant? Have people accused you of trying to limit the number of farts, or do you in fact love farts?
While I love farts, I am trying to limit them, but no one's criticized me for it yet.
No. I think
you're the first.
I think
don't give anyone an idea.
No, this is all good stuff. Michael, hello, Michael.
I have a question for the doctor, please.
Yes.
Doctor, me and my friends like to get together, and we may have some drinks, adult beverages, and one thing leads to another, and one of us will drop our shorts and let go a very large fart with a lighter being held at the other end. Two-part question. What causes the flame that shoots out of the rectum? And second, is this dangerous?
Okay, so I would answer it's dangerous first. But can I ask you a follow-up question? What color is it? Is it kind of like a clear flame or is it an orange flame?
I can answer this. It is.
Is it a blue flame? That counts too?
No, the experimenting on my own in high school with a Zippo lighter.
Sure.
Number one is the best type of lighter to use, and the flame was I would say brighter in color. I expected it to be blue, but it was more orangish.
Okay, so there's two components of flatulence that are flammable: the hydrogen and methane. And not everyone produces methane. Methane is like kind of rare in people in the U.S. And so the reason I ask about the color is if you're colonized only by hydrogen-producing microbes, it's likely going to be a fairly clear flame. But if you're colonized by methane-producing microbes, it's likely to be more of a bluish-orange flame. So if you see a big orange flame, you might be colonized by methane.
You're like a diamond.
Why?
You're like a rare diamond.
But why is methane less prevalent in the U.S.?
Great question. So really only one type of microbe produces it, and it's the only archaea that live in our gut, and they're extremophiles. They turn hydrogen and carbon dioxide into methane, which is a really metabolically inefficient strategy, but they're able to do it in our gut. But not everyone has it. So most of our ancestors probably did, but they were eating, perhaps 10 times the amount of fiber we are today. So there's a lot more hydrogen and carbon dioxide for them to convert into methane. But in our fiber-deficient diets, if you're only eating McDonald's, there's not going to be enough hydrogen and carbon dioxide produced to make methane production feasible.
So we're not eating enough. What about this fiber maxing that they're talking about, grossly
I think
women?
It's extremely good. I think that 95% of Americans are deficient in fiber, and fiber does so many good things. We're seeing like the incidence of colorectal cancer skyrocket. Fiber likely would blunt that. Fiber feeds your small intestine and large intestine. It helps your microbiome be in a good configuration, and it makes you feel full too. So it's really good for also eating less.
All right, so there is a shortage of fiber. That's something that the world needs to work on.
Yeah. It seems humans love to remove fiber from food. Like when we talk about processing our food, it's often removing the fiber.
Well, and then everyone just says eat protein and don't eat anything else, and then you're not getting any fiber, right?
I'm not a medical doctor, but I think that's bad advice to eat only protein for sure.
But Rogan says it.
And he's a doctor.
He's not a medical doctor.
Right? Yeah, he's smarter than you guys. Yeah. He's read the papers.
Yeah.
Can I ask you this really quick? This is off topic. Could an individual with no medical background and no education in medicine properly digest what's in a medical journal?
I think so.
Oh, you do?
Especially with AI now.
I'm just stupid.
Oh, AI.
I think so.
Oh, AI. Okay.
I think you can get a good summary. The thing about medicine is that it's much more controversial than you would think. So I was just at Digestive Disease Week, and there's a lot of controversy
it's
about...
like Bike Week.
Yeah, totally. But with 8,000 gastroenterologists.
Right. Lucky prostitutes.
So you were there, and were there arguments? Were there fistfights? What happened?
While there were no fistfights, unfortunately, there were arguments, and a lot of people disagree about a lot of terms about IBS and farts, and so people disagree about the mechanisms. People disagree about the treatments, and so while someone could digest a paper, it's kind of like the field is so unsettled that you probably wouldn't get a good idea of it.
Well, I like this. We're at the very beginning of the process. We're at the ground floor, and doctor, right? Dr. Brantley Hall, you're a doctor, correct?
I'm a PhD, not a medical doctor.
Okay.
The title is the title, sir.
Dr. Brantley Hall, you will send these monitors, you swear to God?
Swear to God, no problem.
Have any of the monitors been damaged beyond repair?
The biggest cause of damage, dogs. Dogs have been chewing some.
Oh,
you don't want to run that.
Interesting. All right.
Okay.
All right, Brantley Hall, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for indulging us, and thank you for being at the very forefront and also at the very beginning of this very important research. And I would like you to stick around to talk to Adam, because it would mean a lot to me personally if you would send these monitors to us.
Absolutely. I expect great things from your flatulence. I hope you're a top 1%.
It goes for both of us.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Brantley Hall, thank you so much. And we would like to talk to you soon if possible.
Happy to.
Okay.
All right, thank you,
Great.
Dr. Brantley Hall. There you go.
Hey, listen, if you've got to go, we understand, but make sure you bring the Sports Hub app with you so you can hear more of Tudger and Hardy
That's what I want on my tombstone.
on the Sports Hub.
Mike, you leave the room daily. How have you felt the players have responded?
Well, not every day, Mike. Some of your sources probably aren't as good. I don't have a team meeting every single day in the spring.
Almost every day? Close to?
Sometimes.
Regardless.
Most of the time.
You're in front of the room. How have you felt like the players have responded to your leadership as such a critical?
I don't want to speak for the players.
But
All I can do, I feel great. I feel like I'm trying to give them the information that are going to help them do their job.
We are Tudger and Hardy. Mike Dussault is a writer and content producer for Patriots.com. Mike Vrabel talked to the media. OTAs are underway. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning to you. Everyone's got a little seduced by that music.
How you doing?
Everyone loves bad music. No. All right. So, Mike Dussault, what did you make of the questions that were asked of Vrabel about, the family and the, ostensibly the affair and his answers to them?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like they want to move on. And, I mean, I think everybody's hoping they can move on. These questions still seem to make things a little bit uncomfortable for him. But overall, it just seems like now that we've got OTAs starting, some on-field stuff, it seems like a nice distraction. And I think that's where we're hoping that the focus goes now onto the team and starting to get ready for the season.
Why are you hoping for that?
Yeah, for sure.
No, but why? Why are you hoping for that?
Because I like football, and I want to see this.
Well, they're going to play
year
regardless. I mean, I can assure you that.
You'll get your precious games, Mike.
Certainly locally, obviously, I think for the rest of the summer, he's fine. Unless Rossini starts talking again. When the season starts up and it becomes a national thing again, it's going to come up. It's going to come up nationally, and especially if they lose to Seattle. Just any loss, regardless of the validity of it, which is not really valid, they'll bring up the whole situation with Diana Rossini. When he was talking, he's like, yeah, I'm here today. You never know when something's going to come up. Do you think that they're preparing him for if Rossini starts doing interviews?
I mean, not really. I thought Vrabel was kind of just played off with a joke of like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be here. I mean, like I said, there's clearly an uncomfortable situation when they're asking him about it. And, I thought he was trying to make a joke and, say, hey, I don't know if anybody's going to be here. So,
he made a
joke.
Think
they're prepping us for anything,
No, he made a joke, but that part wasn't a joke. Like, he definitely joked around with Giardi, but at that point, it wasn't a joke. And it could be it was either like a Zen... And Hardy
right.
said like a therapy kind of speak of like, well, we never know, like you live in the present.
Yeah.
Or it was like, I don't know, like something, she could start doing interviews and then, I'm going to have to go to more couples counseling or something like that, like you could take it either way.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of took it as the first one. I mean, I don't know how much more is going to come out. I don't think they're prepping for anything like that. I mean, like I said, I think that they're hoping to get through these questions and just turn the page to football. I mean, I think you're right. People are probably going to draw connections to this when things don't go right this season. But, ultimately, I don't really think this is going to have a huge impact on the season. And, if this is the end of the news, so to speak, it'll be brought up. But I think it's going to die a slow death until, you get into the season and then you realize it's really about the team and how this team is doing while they're performing on the field.
There was something between him and Giardi that, while, good-natured for the most part, I think was real. And that was Vrabel kind of making light or at least poking at the notion that Giardi or anyone else has a mole inside the building about his sources. Is this something that I think, Mike, is carried over from last year when I remember Vrabel hearing that he was truly upset that there were leaks coming from the outside. Did you get any hint of that yesterday also?
Oh, I don't know. Not really. I mean, I don't know. That's a good point, Hardy. I didn't really make that connection. I mean, I know that Vrabel was big. You know, one of the big words he said when he started here was loyalty. And so I know that he wants that kind of trust inside the building. But, you know, I don't know if there's really been leaks from inside the building. I mean, that's, you know, something that only he would know where that information is coming from. So, you know, I think they're just continuing to try to ask the questions. But at some point, what more is there to know? You know, we have to move on and start to, you know, think about the football team, which, you know, practiced yesterday. And, you know, there's definitely some really interesting news that's circling around the team, too.
Such as
Christian Gonzalez, what's the, you know, status with him? Is this A.J. Brown thing going to happen next week? You know, I mean, I think that would be a huge move. I mean, talk about things that would kind of cleanse the palate of the offseason. Just watching the team a little bit yesterday, I mean, it's, you know, some guys weren't there, of course, Gonzalez being one with the contract situation, but just, you know, without Diggs there now, and you don't see Matt Collins out there and Booty's not there, and you start to say, well, this team does look a little bit, you know, light at wide receiver right now. And, you know, you get A.J. Brown in next week, that would be quite the boost to this offense. And you know, I think this is the time of year with Gonzalez and the contract. These are when things start to happen and guys start to do their hold-ins, and, you know, it's all a negotiation. And this is, you know, kind of how modern contract extensions are done. So I feel pretty confident. I think they'll be able to get something done with Gonzalez. It just seems like they're in the negotiation phase now. But you just wonder if you get to that mini camp, is he doing one of those hold-ins? And, you know, how long do they go before they're able to work something out?
How much do you put on placement of positions on the field at this point in the season? For example, look at Caleb Lomu, their first-round draft pick, worked at left tackle during rookie minicamp, and now we get to OTAs, and he's exclusively at right tackle.
Yeah, I mean, interesting. I mean, I think they got to get him ready for everything. I mean, he should be the top swing backup this year, so he needs to see time on both sides. I mean, I thought in rookie mini camp, it was just him and Crownover, the two rookies, playing left and right side. That seemed to make sense to me. But once we got out there yesterday, you saw Lomu taking some snaps at right tackle as well. I think there's certain spots where you're seeing some of the depth that they might have some concerns, like, you know, left guard, you've got a guy, Andrew Rupsich, taking reps at left guard. When Vera Tucker's out a little bit, you know, the edge guys, you got Landry is out. We haven't seen Gabe Akis yet. So you see some of the depth issues there. We'll see how these things play out over OTAs. But I do think you saw yesterday a little bit of area cornerback, no Gonzalez, no Davis. You're seeing more of some of the guys down the depth chart a little bit. So you're just getting a sense of, you know, where there might be some depth issues or at least position battles where guys might have chances for jobs.
So with the new media facilities down in Foxborough, we have cameras pointed at you guys during press conferences. So I really need to know, when Dan Roach asked that thick question of Drake Maye, it looked uncomfortable in the room. How did it feel?
Yeah, and maybe we should listen to that one first, because Fred.
Okay, fair enough.
Have you heard this yet, Fred?
I have not.
Okay, I'm going to get this here, and you can see, as John was saying, you can see the reactions from some of you guys.
No, it looked uncomfortable to me.
A little bit. I think Drake missed it at first, and that's why it was kind of like, is he going to say it again?
Yeah. Okay, here it is, in case you haven't heard this.
Rude question. Are you thicker with two C's? Is that the way you're supposed to say it? Is that kind of like the hip thing? Are you thicker with two C's? Is that how we're supposed to be? Or
I think that's paused, if that's anything. I think that's not the way to put it, but
even better. Do you feel conditioned as far as another year of experience, just your body getting it ready for this?
Okay. All right. Did you know what he was talking about?
Yeah, what the hell is he talking about?
Oh, yeah. No, I love that Dan, though, he, like, tacked, though. He like, got the silly question, and then he saw Drake was kind of like, what? And then he went, oh, whoa, you know, got into the series. But I felt a little bit like, oh, is he? But that's Roachy. I mean, that's what he does. He keeps us all on our toes with stuff like that. I mean,
but what does it mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
Thick, THICC. I think it's a different kind of thick. You know, like I think that's a good thick. Where, you know, it's kind of like PHAT and FAT. The different. I'm spitballing here, guys. I don't know.
It's kind of thick that John likes.
I was just going to jump in with that. Yes.
So according to the AI overview, thick with two C's is an attractively curvy or full-figured body.
Yeah, it's mostly used to describe a certain type of female, not a quarterback.
Characterized by a small waist, full hips, and a voluptuous backside.
Did you know that, John?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so when you Google, will you put in...
I didn't need to Google it, Fred. I knew exactly.
So again, stop. I wasn't saying that. you cut me off. Do you Google THCC or do you look on porn sites for THCC?
ICC.
ICC.
Oh, it's THICC.
Porn sites.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah, it is kind of a rude question because if you're just taking it the way it's taken on the internet, so Drake, it looks like you got a big fat ass now. You know, you didn't have that last year.
So, John, is that an insult?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It is an insult.
To a guy? Yeah, I think so.
So Nick should just walk around feeling bad about himself.
No, only if someone calls him that, yes.
All right. Well, I don't know. All right, so A.J. Brown's happening. Now, like, all the reports are like it's a done deal. I don't really understand how it's to the advantage of the Eagles to just, agree to something and kind of cut the valve off and stop all negotiations with other teams. But is that what you're hearing, too? This is pretty much a done deal?
I mean, that's what Schefter's saying. I mean, that's where all the signs are pointing to. I mean, I guess we'll see next week if there is a full deal in place or if some other team kind of swoops in or if the price has changed. It's all that post-June 1 stuff, the contract things that I guess that's the beneficial part to the Eagles. But I think we're all just waiting to see what the compensation would be. Would there be a Patriots player? I mean, is Kayshon Boutte somehow involved in this? I don't know. Is he staying away because he wants a new contract or is even, I'm not sure how it's all going to fit in, but I think there's a good chance next week you're looking at A.J. Brown, at the top of this wide receiver depth chart, which, just be great news for Drake Maye in this, second year in this Josh McDaniels system. I mean, to have a guy like him, a guy like Dobbs, 2 younger players this year, it'd be exciting to see how it all meshes together. But I think that's the biggest part for me is just seeing Drake this second year. He talked about it yesterday. I mean, he hasn't had the same offense since like going back to high school. So, be able to be back with Josh. They talked about last year how much is on the quarterback in this one. So, a lot of talk about personnel, extraneous things, but I think really this season could come down to Drake and how well he progresses in this system. I remember a couple years ago, Bill Belichick saying, Brady, it was kind of like mid-03 when it really all started to click for him. So, we saw what we got out of Drake last year, and, MVP runner-up. What's he going to do this year with another season under his belt? I'm excited.
Okay, if you had to put a number on wins that A.J. Brown's presence would make, like, for instance, say you had him at 8 wins without him, what would you put it with him? 2 more. I think if you're at 8, he gets you to 10. He's just, look, he might be slowing down a little bit, but, man, the guy is a beast. He's really tough with the ball in his hands. He's got great hands. He's tough to cover. I mean, even when you have him covered, he seems like he comes up with catches, tough to bring down. Just that physical presence, I think he would really bring to this offense that really fits how they want to play. And, I get Dobbs being kind of a 1-for-1 with Diggs from last year, but A.J. Brown, he would raise the equation. He would really change the dynamic of this offense, I think, in a serious way. All right, Mike Dussault, thank you so much. Read him at Patriots.com. We appreciate it as always.
Hey, guys.
All right, thank you. There you go, the great Mike Dussault. Here are the headlines. Kaboom! Did we all just take acid? Take acid? It's unbelievable.
Toucher and Hart. What's he talking about?
Like you, Fred. I'm not worried.
The Sports Hub.
During Dussault's interview, John and I got watching Casino that's on in the background with closed captioning. And I said the first half of Casino is boring, and Hardy took that very personally.
You said it's kind of boring until the end.
Yeah.
No, it's not boring. It's a good movie. What do you want? Car chases? Explosions? A lot of gunfire?
Well, there's an explosion right now.
Yeah.
Hardy, what's your take on Heat?
I really like the movie Heat. I do think it could be a lot shorter. You could cut out probably 20% of that movie.
I watched Manhunter over the weekend. I'd never watched Manhunter.
Hello.
It was one of those that was like
Hi. I'm the Manhunter. Hello.
And now
MILF Hunter.
Now I'm on like a Michael Mann tear. So like because I loved watching that so much, and I love what a product of like that mid '80s era it is. And I'm thinking of going back and watching Heat, but I remember when it was out, not being a huge fan of it.
All right, so I have three things here for you. Number one, Manhunter, based on the book Red Dragon by Thomas Harris, the book that introduces us to the character of Hannibal Lecter.
Mm-hmm.
Not one movie, and there have been 2 now, maybe even 3 that have tried to recreate Red Dragon. The first being Manhunter, where Brian Cox playing Hannibal Lecter is better.
Brian Cox.
Better. Brian Cox and Manhunter.
Hey.
Yoo-hoo.
Hello.
Scruff.
First take, better Hannibal Lecter than Anthony Hopkins.
I agree.
Brian Cox is great in Manhunter. They didn't even try to get the ending because the ending of the book is so mind-blowing that when I read it, I couldn't believe it was happening, right?
Well, now
it's
I want to
that
read the
good.
book. Okay.
It's that good. Ed Norton played the character of Will Graham, originally William Peterson in Manhunter. In the book Red Dragon, and they brought in Anthony Hopkins to play Hannibal Lecter. They screwed up the ending again. Now, in Manhunter, they didn't even really try. They tried to make it more like the book in Red Dragon, but they still screw it up.
You mean Silence of the Lambs or Red Dragon?
Silence of the Lambs is the sequel to Red Dragon.
No, yeah, okay.
And that's that's a good movie, but it's an even better book, though. And then you get into Hannibal, you get into Hannibal Rising.
So Manhunter is like the origin story of Hannibal Lecter, or is it?
No.
Okay.
It is, but it's the first time you see him. He is a pretty small character in Manhunter. Will Graham goes to visit him, much like Clarice does in Silence of the Lambs, to help him catch a serial killer.
So he's in jail, Hannibal Lecter.
But it's all Miami Vice-ish. He's in this high-tech jail, like somewhere in the South, all white.
Bars are white.
Yeah, all very
but in the
sterile.
book, I'm more interested in what's happening in the book.
Oh, in the book, you should just read Red Dragon.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm not asking for like the plot or to spoil it. I'm just saying. So, and the Hannibal Lecter character has already been caught and is in jail.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
interesting.
But I'm glad you go down that Michael Mann rabbit hole. Go watch Thief with James Caan.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'll do.
That's another good Michael Mann.
Apparently, they're making another Heat.
Yeah.
Michael Mann is. Adam Driver is the Robert De Niro character. That's what is rumored.
So I tried to watch Heat, whatever, within the last year, and Al Pacino is so corny that I had to I couldn't get 20 minutes into it. It's go back and watch the first 20 minutes of Heat. I'd be interested to see if you think I'm crazy. I don't know when the last time you guys saw that movie was, but I'd never seen it. And obviously, I like Al Pacino, and obviously, I like Robert De Niro. I saw The War on Grandpa. Okay, I know what he's capable of, but I did. De Niro's not really in the beginning of it that much. It's just Pacino, and Pacino's playing like a no-nonsense tough guy, and he's like old Pacino, and it's a little bit like
yeah.
It's like okay, I'm very difficult to believe this.
So maybe I'm the idiot. My sister thinks I'm an idiot for this. I don't mind over-the-top Al Pacino. I don't mind him in Scent of a Woman.
Oh, no, I like Scent of a Woman.
Okay, well, there couldn't be a more over-the-top
I'm not
Pacino.
saying he's over the top. I'm saying it's unbelievable, the character that he's playing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like Al Pacino, like Nick could destroy Al Pacino. Like Ryan is Al Pacino's size. Like Al Pacino, a 54-year-old Al Pacino or whatever he was, 52-year-old Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Very difficult to imagine doing anything, let alone handling a gun.
Yeah.
Being any kind of I think they just casted him because he's Al Pacino. And then when I saw it, I'm like, I wonder if people just are giving it like a lot of leeway because it has Pacino and De Niro in it.
And they only have dialogue together in one scene.
Yeah, like I didn't really see De Niro like in the part that I watched. I don't even know if he was in the movie yet. It's pretty much Pacino as the cop.
Yeah.
And they're like running around like chasing that guy. And I went, I don't. And then the guy's annoying, like that they catch. I'm sure he's not a part of the movie. Or maybe he is. He like escapes. But like that guy was annoying. And I'm like,
So I read Heat 2. It's very good. Leonardo DiCaprio and Christian Bale are also confirmed for this. So it should be really good. The source material is good. And
Bale is the Val Kilmer character?
I'm not sure. Probably. But they've I think they figured out some things from Heat as much as people love it. It's like the pacing, you got to pick it up in a few places.
Something under 2.5 hours would be good.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get through the first 20 minutes.
I watch like any Michael Mann movie. the Miami Vice reboot that they did with Jamie Foxx.
Oh no! What did I see? I saw it was a completely different one.
He pushes like the soundtrack to like the front, and it's super loud, and there's like like Audio Slave deep cuts and stuff like that he uses, and it's all very obvious what he's doing, and I don't care.
He's stealing from Scorsese, and it's not as effective. All right, a lot of people have something to say about it. Joe, go ahead.
So what I've heard is that in the original plot of Heat, Pacino's character is supposed to have a coke problem.
Yeah.
And that those scenes were cut from the movie, and that's sort of the explanation for some of his erratic behavior.
Okay, so I'm not out of my mind then. Like, okay, thank you. Okay, so
it's over the top for sure.
Right, and
but I think that
there was an explanation for it that was cut out of the movie, so it would have made more sense if they had kept the coke stuff in. I understand. Okay,
that's my understanding.
All right, thank you, Joe. Then I don't feel like I'm out of my mind because that would have been helpful. If he would have had a coke habit, I would have understood why he was being so manic.
So Leo DiCaprio is confirmed expected to play the younger Val Kilmer character.
Okay.
Christian Bale, they don't know. Adam Driver in the Al Pacino role as Neil McCauley.
Okay. Well, I would see that in the theater, considering if my daughter will still go to movies with me, I'll see that in the theater.
But if you like the movie Heat, read Heat 2 because it is both a prequel and a sequel. Does both.
And you should just watch Manhunter, Fred. I think you would enjoy Manhunter.
Yeah,
Fred, hello!
Yeah, you of course you like Manhunter, funny boy. I can't whistle. Why can't I whistle anymore?
Hello.
All right, we'll be back.
That was a new one. I haven't heard that.
That's a really good one. That's him just saying. That almost sounds like AI.
Hello.
All right, Gary Tanguay has a podcast that we'll make fun of in just a moment.